The Hawks are in one of the weirder positions in the NBA this season because they definitely aren't good to be any serious playoff team in the Eastern Conference, but they don't own their first round pick. San Antonio still owns it from the DeJounte Murray trade, so they really can't afford to lose out on a top 5, top 10 pick this year because they're not getting that player. So they're trying to figure out the identity with this team around Trae Young right now, and they are figuring out that Dyson Daniels is working, who was the main piece they got back in the Murray trade when they sent him to New Orleans last offseason. Jalen Johnson is emerging as one of the better young forwards in this league, and Nneka Okongwu is finally playing more than Clint Capella, and we are seeing flashes from the #1 overall pick in Zachary Reassessing. There is a foundation here. So what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? I am excited to rebuild this Hawks team because, like I said, one of the more interesting positions in the league because we can't afford to be bad right now. We don't own our first round pick, but what we do own is a top 10 protected Kings pick from the Kevin Huerter trade back in the 2022 offseason and the Lakers first round pick that they got from the Pelicans in the DeJounte Murray trade last offseason. They originally got that pick from the Anthony Davis trade. So we could still get a couple lottery picks with us making the playoffs, but that's what we need to do this year. We need to make the playoffs. I don't want to give the Spurs Cooper Flag. So we are going to run a 10-man rotation out there. There's just a lot of reserves that are going to have to go to the G League. But yeah, we're going to have Trae Young play 36 minutes a night, followed by Daniels and Reassessing. I think 25 each of these guys who look great as complementary defenders to help out Trae Young's defensive deficiencies. You have Jalen Johnson at the 4. I don't know if he's going to be a long-term 4, but at least the 4 for this year's season, and O squared. And off the bench, you got kind of veterans in Atlanta here, and DeAndre Hunter and Bogdan Bogdanovic, Clint Capella. I think Larry Nance Jr. has been great for them in real life, and I think could net them back something decent at the deadline. And we're going to see what Kobe Buffkin, the first-round pick from last year, can do. We are 3.5 star pace and space under Quinn Snyder, who I actually still think is a good coach in this league, and I think can win this team a title. But I just don't want to be bad this year because I do not want to give the Spurs a top player in this draft. All right, so we are a 500 team at the deadline. We are 26-25, which is fine. That's where I want to be, honestly. We could definitely be a playoff team, and honestly, we have a 6-game lead over the 11 seed Hornets, so there's a good chance that we're going to be in the play-in tournament. Trae Young has been unreal for us this year. 25-10. He's shooting 50% from the field, 46 from 3, 93 from the line, 34 minutes a night. This dude has to be like an all-star, all-NBA caliber player this year. So yeah, he is listed as an all-star. Jalen Johnson has been good as well. 18 points. He's shooting 50% from the field, 8 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1.1 steals. DeAndre Hunter has been a good player off the bench. I think he's building up some trade value, even though he's not on the greatest contract in the world. Okongwu's been good. He was on a nice contract. Dyson Daniels breaking out a little bit. Need that 3-point shot to go in more, and he could be a perfect 3-and-D piece. There's Bogey, who's shooting 38% from 3. He would be the one guy, I guess maybe him and Capella, I would think about moving right now that I don't, and Larry Nance, that won't hurt us too much to not make the play-in. All right, so I'm going to do this trade with the San Antonio Spurs. They'd be willing to give me this second rounder. I don't think I can give them enough to get like my first rounder. Oh, man, they have so many firsts over the next couple of years because I'm going to basically take on the Zach Collins contract, and I'm going to give them an upgrade in Clint Capella to be a backup to Wemby. I don't think I can maybe finesse, like, I'm fine giving you my first rounder this year, but maybe my first rounder in 2027. We'll see if they would do this, and I'll give you 2 second rounders as well. Would they do this trade if we had an exception? They will not. They want Garrison Matthews, who's not a bad player by any means. I take on Sandro. Honestly, let's do that. Now I get my 2027 first back. And we're going to send Larry Nance Jr. to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They get another big in case they do lose Naz Reid. Potentially, they could bring back Larry Nance, who I think could help them in the playoffs. We're going to be getting Leonard Miller, taking a flyer on him, and a future second rounder. Hey, it's something for Larry Nance. So basically, we're going to have Zach Collins operate as the backup center. He's not going to get a ton of minutes. I think like 13 a night. I would like to play Kobe Buffkin a little bit more to see what he could do. Maybe you go 15 to Zach Collins. And the last spot between all these guys there, I know David Roddy's gotten some run time, but I think I'd rather see what Leonard Miller can do in a decent sample size. Second half of the year, about 14 minutes a night, 3.5 star pace and space still. Let's see what we got. Just don't crater, please, and fall out of the play-in tournament. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins MVP this season. Alex Sarr, who averaged 6 points and 6 rebounds and shot 37, 23, 61 from the field, ends up getting Rookie of the Year. That's so bad. John Collins, former Atlanta Hawk, wins 6th Man of the Year as the Thunder went 70-12. That's insane. Trae Young, deserving, gets on all NBA second team, 50 from the field, 45-94 splits. Unreal, man. Unreal numbers from Trae Young as we're trying to win a championship with him here in Atlanta. And we did get Reassessing on all rookie second team. He'll be better over time. And we didn't even make the play-in tournament because we made the playoffs as the 6th seed. So definitely like the peak of the year, I think, for the Hawks. Any surprises in the top 6? I guess we would be it, as Milwaukee and Miami finished 40 and 42, which isn't like the craziest thing now. And we're taking on the Cavs in round number 1. Hey, maybe not the craziest upset waiting to happen. Let's see. Do I want to trim down on this rotation? Probably. I think Leonard Miller is not going to get minutes in the playoffs, and Kobe Buffkin didn't shoot the ball well this year. He's going to get like 8 minutes tonight because we're probably going to play Bogey and Hunter a decent amount. I think like 25 apiece of these guys is good. I'd like to go, honestly, 30-40 with Kongwu. Why not? He had a most improved caliber season this year. We'll stick at 14 minutes a night to Zach Collins. Jalen Johnson, I think could get probably 40 minutes a night. Same with Trae Young. And then the last 4, we're going to give it to Dyson Daniels, just because he was a much better shooter than Reassessing. And looking at the defensive statistics this year, offensively, we were number 2. Defense, though, we were not as good. We were bottom 5 in the East, which is as expected, with Trae Young potentially as your point guard. Okay, this was a disaster, as Zach Collins was our leading scorer in game number 1. Trae, just gassing you up, man. You go 4 of 13 from the field and 2 of 9 from 3. Game number 2 is going to go to the Cavs. They end up winning 120-110. All right, Trae Young had 41. Kongwu had a double-double. Game number 3 is going to go to the Cavs. All right, you know what? That's fine. We don't have our first round pick. I am perfectly fine just getting swept in round number 1, because now we're giving the Spurs like the 18th overall pick rather than giving them a pick that could have ended up being Dylan Harper, Cooper Flagg, or Ace Bailey, which I'm fine with. Trae Young, I mean, it evened out where he was okay in the playoffs. I mean, okay, understatement. He was really good. Okongwu was good as well. Jalen Johnson struggled. Bogdan Bogdanovic also struggled. DeAndre Hunter struggled. Yeah, not great. Reassessing wasn't too bad, actually. So let's find out who wins the 2025 NBA Finals. It's going to be between the 76ers and the OKC Thunder. And the Thunder sweep the Sixers, and Shea is your Finals MVP. So a couple Hall of Famers. This would probably be at least 4 Hall of Famers guaranteed. I think Lowry's a guarantee. Horford, Conley, like, close. Brook Lopez, probably not. Love may even make it a Hall of Fame. It could be a ton of Hall of Famers from that class. And here we are at the draft lottery. So that Kings pick is top 10 protected. Is it in here? Oh my God, it's at 11. That'd be perfect for us. I would love to get the 11th overall pick in this year's draft. I don't remember where the Lakers fell, but I guess it is not going to be in the lottery, unfortunately. I think there could have been some variance with the Lakers, but yeah, we're not going to be landing a top pick from them. So I'm really hoping we see the Lakers, or excuse me, the Kings there. All right, it drops a spot. I'm fine with that. The Bulls move into the top 4. You know what? Good for them. I'm glad we are able to get a pick in this year's draft. So we are going to have the 12th overall pick from Sacramento and the 25th overall pick from the Lakers. Damn, I thought that was going to be a little bit better of a pick. All right, so we are here during the draft. We're going to be taking 2 people here in the first round. Wow, the Spurs got the number 1 overall pick, which I guess was their pick. And they don't take Cooper Flagg. They just want the French connection, Nolan Traore and Wemby. And come on, while you watch goes number 2. All right, so the Wizards at number 3. Oh my God, they don't take Cooper Flagg. So why couldn't in my Wizards rebuild that happen to me? It's whatever. William McNeely ends up going number 5. Houston gets Ace Bailey to fall to them at 6. Thank God we're in the East. And we're getting an absolute steal for us at number 12. It's going to be Trae Johnson, who's a freshman at Texas, and he looks so good out of the gate. This guy is a scoring machine so far. He is super athletic. I wanted to get Igor Demon, but he ended up going 9 to the Nets. VJ Edgecombe fell to 10 to the Magic. And with my next pick, I'm going to get a Demba Ball here out of Santa Clara. Maybe could be the Pojemski of this year's draft class from Santa Clara. So we get a Demba Ball and we get Trae Johnson. Yeah, so we'll see how they look over time. David Roddy, $4.8 million. Going to decline that, but we're going to pick it up on Daniels and Kobe Buffkin. Knock it off for Seth Lundy or Dominic Barlow, the qualifying offer. So here we go. Let's see what we want to do here in free agency. Ooh, Scottie Pippen Jr. I would not mind him being another guard for us. Do we need Scottie Pippen Jr.? Probably not, just because we have Buffkin and Daniels, but I'm okay with that. Ty Jerome also has been really good this year for the Cavs. He's turning his career around. But I think I'd rather get Mo Wagner to be my backup center, but I guess we do have Zach Collins. Can I sign both of these guys? Or is there going to be a financial issue? Let's see. Damn it. All right, so you chose Mo Wagner over Scottie Pippen. Why would you do that to me? It's fine, though. I don't think Scottie Pippen was going to play too much because Trae Young is playing almost 40 minutes a night, and then we do have some good guards off the bench. Also, Dallas is willing to give me their first-round pick unprotected next year. Probably going to be late 20s because they're really good. We're going to be giving them Bogdan Bogdanovic, who technically has an expiring contract. It's a team option for next year. Gives Dallas some flexibility and gives them a really good spot-up shooter next to Luka, who's probably like Klay Thompson at this point, but is an upgrade over last year's versions of like Jaden Hardy, who is maybe not who they wanted to be, or Quentin Grimes. And we're also getting OMP in this trade. So we're getting a first-round pick from 2023 thrown our way. I wonder if Quentin Grimes is a free agent. He is, but he wants $8 million. I would love to pick up Quentin Grimes, but we can't afford him right now. And we also do have some nice trade exceptions from Larry Nance and Bogey now. And we're also going to be signing former Atlanta Hawk, who they took in the lottery in 2016. I believe Torian Prince here to a minimum. Boom, there we go. So, player progression, Trae Young's at 92. Jalen Johnson doesn't go up. Now, if I move him to a small forward, I feel like his overall is going to go up. So, we'll probably do that, but we see some nice progression from Reassessing and Kobe Buffkin. So, we do have to release a couple guys. Why is Cody Zeller under contract for 2 more years? Vic Krejci, oh, man, he's under contract as well for 2 more years. So I think we're going to try to move those guys. Actually, I don't know who wants to pay Cody Zeller $3.6 million. Why? Who gave him this deal? So the Lakers are willing to take Vic Krejci and Mo Gay from me for a Denver 2nd round pick next year. So hopefully we're good to go now. All right, so this is going to be the rotation right now. It's going to be Trae Young, Daniels, Reassessing, Johnson, Okongwu. Same as last year. Hunter, Buffkin, Miller, and Mo Wagner off the bench. So Zach Collins is not going to play, which is going to be an interesting thing. We'll see how Mo Wagner does throughout the course of this season. I lied. That's definitely not going to be my rotation because I want to get Trae Johnson in there. So yeah, I'm going to make Jalen Johnson a small forward. He goes up to an 86 overall. So yeah, in order to find Trae Johnson some minutes, I may not actually play Leonard Miller, which is a shame, but we're going to, I think, just put Trae Johnson in here. He's going to get 16 minutes a night. And before the season starts, we are going to ink up Trae Young to a 3-year extension worth $150 million. Fully guaranteed. We want to make him a Hawk for life, so we're going to not have to worry about that at any point here. We got him under contract till 2029. We start off the season at home against the Cavs, and we ended up losing by 13. Jalen Johnson dropped 36 in this L. Like I said, though, we do own our 1st round pick this year if we weren't good, or, oh no, it's a swap with San Antonio. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we don't own it theoretically. Worst case scenarios, we're really bad and the Spurs are really good, which could definitely happen. They have Wemby. And yeah, this hasn't been the greatest year. I'm surprised that we are this much worse this year. Maybe it's because of the backup center spot. Who knows? The San Antonio Spurs are 21-29, so we just need them to miss the playoffs, and I'm okay. I mean, 18-34 is really bad. We should be a lot better than that. Trae, this is potentially on you. You have been just as good as you were last year, but you got to carry this team. I know I'm asking a lot out of you. Jalen Johnson, wow. He's been great this year as well. Okongwu's been not as efficient as he was last year. Something to keep an eye on. Dyson Daniels has been all right. I wonder what his post-rookie contract extension is going to look like. Reassessing technically is better this year. The true shooting percentage is up. Hunter has been fine, but probably a little bit overpaid right now. Kobe Buffkin, oh man. I don't want to throw around the B word, but it might be that type of word for us right now. So I hate to do it, but I do think I'm going to remove Kobe Buffkin from the rotation. He's just, I want to win some games to not lose out on like a really good pick. So I'm going to throw Leonard Miller in his spot, who we can get a nice glimpse of. I don't know if I'm going to make any other changes because I don't know. Like, we could get a Demba Ballin. We could get OMP in. I mean, Taurean Prince is pretty mad right now. I think I'm actually going to release Taurean Prince, and he can now sign with the contender. I would love Quentin Grimes on this team, but the dude is still unsigned, and he won't take the minimum. They got to fix that. So, Chet Holmgren actually wins MVP this year in year number 3. That's incredible. I guess technically year number 4 for him. Cooper Flagg is your rookie of the year. Yeah, why did he fall to pick 4? I don't know. Andrew Nembhard won 6th man of the year. Wemby won Depoy. Chet wins most improved, and Cade Cunningham is your clutch player of the year. Back-to-back years, Mark Daigneault gets coach of the year. Well, I guess 3 straight years, because he got it in real life in 2024. Trae Young finishes on All-NBA second team once again, and we didn't even get Trae Johnson on All-Rookie second team. So the San Antonio Spurs, luckily for us, did not make the play-in tournament. Hopefully our picks are close together. We ended up in the play-in tournament, actually. We had a really strong end to the year, 34-48. Which is great to see. We actually had one more win than the Spurs. And Jalen Johnson really took off this year, which is great to see. I don't know if he's going to be the 3 or the 4 going forward, because I still like Reassessing a ton. I mean, the dude is 6'10". He's just got to be more efficient from the field. But I'm expecting a big year 3. And we're taking on the Miami Heat in the first leg of the play-in tournament. We have a Southeast Division matchup. They have played each other in the playoffs before. I think that was 2022, maybe. 2023, they played in round number 1. I want to say that was 2022. Are we going to beat them on the road in South Beach? Oh, they take a 3-point lead with 3 minutes to go. We're down by 2. Come on, Trae Young, put the team on your back. But unfortunately, we're going to get eliminated from playoff contention. We lose 124-114. Trae Young had 25. Okongwu 23-10. And Double J had 22-11-10. Damn, that sucks. What did Jimmy go? Did Jimmy go off, or Jaime Jaquez? Jaime went off. So Chet Holmgren is your Western Conference Finals MVP. Tatum in the East. Celtics and Thunder in the finals. And the Celtics win in 6. With Jaylen Brown being your finals MVP. It was a loaded Hall of Fame class last year, not as much this year. I don't know why it says LeBron is in there. The only Hall of Famer is going to be Russell Westbrook. So Dallas is, wow, oh my God, Dallas did not make the playoffs this year. That is a shocker, but that's looking like a great trade by us. So we are going to get another lottery pick this year with Dallas's pick at number 14. And thank God our pick did not jump up super high in the lottery. Oh, 2K actually got it wrong. So we're actually supposed to have the 13th pick, and the Spurs are supposed to have the 12th overall pick, which is fine. That is actually a great result. There was a chance that we could have given them pick 1, and they could have had pick 25. So I am perfectly okay getting the 13th overall pick in this year's draft. And since we traded for our 2027 first back, we are done from the DeJounte Murray trade. We now own all our first round picks going forward. All right, we are going to make a trade here. We're going to send the OKC Thunder DeAndre Hunter, who is an upgrade over Josh Green. They still have a bunch of multiple first round or future first round picks, so they're giving us this swap best with Dallas and OKC in 2028. I feel like I get this pick a ton. It's probably not going to be a great value, but I also get off Cody Zeller's contract as well. So we're taking on $14 million, but I'm getting rid of $27 million, so we're saving $13 million with this trade. So the Memphis Grizzlies are on the clock, and they get AJ DeBenta with the #1 overall pick. Cameron Boozer goes to Minnesota, which is kind of sick. Him and Anthony Edwards, Darius Cup Jr. How did Miami? Oh my God, did they win the lottery out of the play-in? Good for them. That's crazy. They end up with the 3rd pick. Darren Peterson goes to Toronto at 4. And at number 5, the Rockets take JQ out of Arizona State. So I'm going to take Kareem Lopez with our first round pick here out of Mexico, the first rounder at 13. We do own back-to-back picks here, so there's some good backup point guards on the board. I saw Derek Queen here from Maryland, who we can get to be our backup center. I don't think he's much of a Yao Ming watching him at Maryland, so that's kind of funny. Caden Boozer would be cool, but we don't really... I mean... He's not the worst idea because Kobe Buffkin could be on the move. So you know what? Let's bring in Caden Boozer, the son of Carlos, but the brother of Cameron Boozer, who went number 2 overall. And then we took Howard Warren there in the 2nd round, who's going to be on a 2-way contract. So OMP's $5.26 million. Do I want to pick that up? I don't think so. He was just kind of throwing in that trade, so I'm okay letting him walk. Kobe Buffkin, $6.9 million. I'm going to pick it up, but I think there's a chance that we look to trade him. Let's see what Dyson Daniels is looking for in free agency. $22 million. I would like for that to go down a little bit. All right, so we are going to send Kobe Buffkin within the division. We're going to send him to the Charlotte Hornets for Miami's lottery protected pick in 2027. This is from the Terry Rozier trade. This kind of gives me somewhat of a Cam Reddish trade vibe that the Hawks made with the New York Knicks. Yeah, so I guess that didn't work out at all in Kobe Buffkin. So Zach Collins, we're going to renounce the rights on, not OMP. I don't think that makes him a qualifying offer or made him a restricted free agent. So let's just see if we can get Dyson Daniels back on a good price as Luka Doncic leaves Dallas to go to the Brooklyn Nets. Okay. And we are going to ink up Dyson Daniels on a 4-year deal worth $65 million. So on average, $15 million a year, which I feel like is a good contract for both sides. It's crazy though, because that could be a realistic contract he gets eventually. And you just have to be like semi-decent as a lottery pick and you are going to be set for life. So Trae Young's an 93, Jalen Johnson's an 87, Jalen Johnson, 87, Trae Johnson, 82, Dyson Daniels, 82, Reassessing still just at an 80. All right, so this is what the rotation is going to look like. Not playing Reassessing a ton, but that could change over the course of the season. It's going to be the same starting 5 as last year because we're going to have a deeper bench. We're going to see what Trae Johnson can do as a 6-man. Leonard Miller is going to get a decent amount of minutes. Same with Wagner, Josh Green, Adema Bao, and then Kareem Lopez. I think... Actually, I may go 16 minutes to Leonard Miller, and then we can go, I don't know, maybe 27 to Reassessing, 29 to Dyson Daniels. We're 4-star pace and space under Quinn Snyder. We start the season at home against the Pacers. 111-108 was the final score. 26-14 for Okongwu. 20-10-7 for Jalen Johnson. All right, off to a good start this season. Oh my God. We ended up giving up 170 points. I assume this is in overtime. No way that's in regulation. I mean, that's what it says. I'm going to think that wasn't in regulation and that had to be at least 1 overtime, potentially 2, because that is unreal. All right, so we are better at the deadline as we were compared to last year, but we're still far from our goal. We're 23-27, and I feel like we're going to have some tough decisions on the horizon. Could we upgrade from Okongwu? Could we upgrade from Dyson Daniels, who has been struggling with this 3-point shot? Could we upgrade from Zachary Reassessing, who's also struggled in his career, which is something to keep an eye on? Maybe we think about Trae Johnson starting at one point. I don't mind Leonard Miller and what he can do for us. Mo Wagner, fine backup center, but he's in the last year of his deal. I think we actually may be semi-active at this year's deadline. But to be honest with you, I'm not really finding anything I like. So just for the second half of the year, I mean, Mo Wagner's probably not going to go anywhere. Josh Green, he's not bad. I feel like I got to be able to get something for him. Let me check again. And I want to see if they would do Josh Green for Max Strus, who has 1 year left on his deal. But Green is definitely, I think, a better player, just needs more minutes. And I'd get a swap worse in 2028. They are going to probably counter it, it looks like. I don't want to give a Adema Bao yet. I would like to include, I don't know. Maybe this, including 2 seconds, get this done. It probably doesn't. I think they're just going to go back to him. Yeah, 2 first-round picks. Man, you're really enticing me. But what about if I did a first and I do like Ryan Rollins, who we signed for the minimum in free agency. That, okay, we'll get it done. We're just going to swap seconds again. So we basically got a swap for Josh Green, which I'll take. And now those minutes I could distribute to like Caden Boozer. We could see what he could do. I kind of want to, let's see here. Jalen Johnson, or excuse me, Zachary Reassessing, I'm so disappointed in. Let's see if we go a little bit less minutes to him. Adema Bow, let's give him 15 a night. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins MVP. Cameron Boozer is your Rookie of the Year for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Andrew Nembhard is your 6th Man of the Year once again in Indiana. And Mark Daigneault and the Thunder go 71-11, which is just ridiculous. So Trae Young does make an All-NBA team, but this year it is All-NBA 3rd team. And Kareem Lopez was on All-Rookie 2nd team. So the Atlanta Hawks do not finish with the top 6 finish. We do finish with the 7th seed though in the East. We go 40-42, which is fine. Like, I don't know. We finished 2 less wins than we did in 2025. We have yet to win 50 games basically since the 2015 season, so it's been a minute. And I feel like this team has been a little bit below average every single year. I think Trey Johnson, though, can be a good shooting guard for us next to Trae Young next year. I think we got to figure out what's going on with Reassessing, because I think Jalen Johnson could be a 3. We figure out a power forward, possibly with the trade market. For the playoffs, though, we're going to definitely trim down this rotation. Like, I don't think Caden Boozer is going to play right now. I don't think Kareem Lopez is going to play. We're going to go like 10 minutes to Mo Wagner, who I don't think is going to be back next year. Adema Bow, I'm going to give like 17 minutes a night too. Same with Leonard Miller. I'm actually going to start Trey Johnson at the 2. Dyson Daniels is going to come off the bench, but play more minutes than Reassessing. Let's go 40 to Jalen Johnson, 40 to Trae Young. I'd like to go 38 to Okongwu. I think he could play that many minutes, which may be insane to do, but actually, no. Let's give him 35, and then we'll do the rest to Reassessing. All right, so we're taking on the Brooklyn Nets in the first leg of the play-in. Last year in the play-in, we did lose to the Miami Heat. Let's see if we can win this one at home and advance to the playoffs as the 7th seed. We do end up going down a little bit after the first half. Third quarter wasn't great, and we are down by 20. So the Brooklyn Nets are going to beat us 130-113. Trae Young in this game, 4 of 13 from the field. We're going to be taking on the Pistons or the Raptors, and it's going to be the Raptors. So let's see if we can win this game at home. If we lose back-to-back games at home to not even make the playoffs, I don't want to fire Quinn Snyder, and I'm not going to be doing that, but that is going to be very disappointing. And we do end this season probably like with a like extreme disappointment. And I feel like ownership would fire the GM, would fire the head coach, just because, yeah, we have yet to win a playoff series since basically that 2021 season. And you drafted Reassessing with the number 1 overall pick, and this is what he's doing. And then we're going to have a Thunder Celtics finals once again. Thunder winning 6. Shai's your finals MVP. Shout out to Portland making it to the conference finals. I assume this is Cooper Flagg just carrying this team right now. Scoot's doing something. He's not doing as much in real life. And shout out to the Wizards with Dylan Harper making it to the NBA finals, and conference finals, and they had Dennis Schroeder coming off the bench. I just recorded my Wizards rebuild as well, so I'm not sure which one you see first, but yeah, that was very similar to what I did in that. There goes Doc Rivers. He ends up retiring. Oh my God, the Jazz could have 4 lottery picks. They could have 4 top 10 picks. So Milwaukee, they're at number 5. I don't know. That is from the DeJounte Murray trade. Oh my God, because Milwaukee was bad. And we have our pick at 14. Are we getting some luck here? So we end up getting the 7th overall pick. That drops a little bit. Damn, the Jazz are picking at 4 and 5, 9, and 11. We're picking at 7 via Milwaukee, 14, which is our pick. And then I thought we were going to have another pick, but I could be wrong. The Jazz are getting multiple swaps out there. Yeah, maybe it's this one I was thinking of in 2028. So, hey, 7 and 14 in this draft. That's what the Warriors had in the 2021 draft, and then they won it all in 2022. Hopefully that could be the same thing for us. I would be silly not to offer like Ty Lue the head coaching job, or Mike Malone or Chris Finch. All right, so I offered a bunch of head coaches this offer, and I did get Chris Finch. I'm going to stick with Quinn Snyder. I feel like the fan base would hate that, but I'm going to stick with him. And let's see how this draft goes. The number 1 overall pick is Jackson Clemens, a 6'6" guard out of Louisville. I would think about trading for LaMelo Ball if I needed a point guard, which I don't. He does look very good. Number 2, the Brooklyn Nets are going to get Donta Thomas, a wing out of Wyoming, a little bit on the older side. Kings at number 3, they take Rodney Green out of Fordham. He is another guard as well. And here's all the talent that went before us. Abe Starks looks pretty good. He went to the Jazz there at number 5. So we're on the clock here at number 7. I thought about the Onyeka Okongwu backup here. I mean, I don't love the idea of drafting a backup this high. We could go for Jake Fisher out of Arkansas, 6'6". 19 years old, maybe a little bit of a project play, but it looks like he could be a good defender. So you know what? I'm going to take him here at number 7. I think gives us a little bit of upside. And then we're actually going to trade this pick to Indiana for a 2031 first from the Pacers and the Magic pick in 2031. We're attaching a second into this. I just didn't know if I was going to take another rookie here. They take Reuben Hudgens out of UCF. Was he good? We'll see. So we are going to sign our rookie Jake Fisher. Like I said, a little bit more of a project play. I'm going to pick up the team options on everybody here. 17 million for Reassessing. That is kind of insane. All right, so if we believe in the young guys, I hate to do it at this point, but Dyson Daniels, who's been here for 3 years, gives us good defense, lacks the shooting still, and Reassessing to the Pelicans for Zion Williamson, who's in the last year of his contract. Would they think about this? They say no. 3 first-round picks is a lot to include in this, but I would include my first. Oh, they counter it. They would want Miami's first and my first rounder next year. And I get Dink paid here, who I could flip because we do have a lot of guards. Let's do it. Let's get Zion Williamson on this team. I had to make a big move. We made a big move in the past with the DeAndre Hunter trade back in 2019. I'm sure that's where you didn't think that was going, but also the DeJounte Murray trade last year. So now we have Trae Young throwing alley-oops to Zion Williamson. We're going to have Jalen Johnson, Trey Johnson. Wow, we may have the most athletic starting 5. Maybe not as much to Trae Young, but these guys are insane. Leonard Miller wants $18 million. You were out of your mind. You were definitely not getting that from me. Could we get a better backup center? Ooh, I wouldn't mind Brandon Clark, actually. Could I give him a 2-year deal? What was Jay Huff's numbers last year? Could I get him on the minimum? Yes, I can. And this may be risky, but it could also be some salary matching if I wanted to make a trade. We're going to bring back Leonard Miller, 3 years. $40 million. So this team is headlined by Trae Young, Zion Williamson, and then the Johnsons. I'm excited about this team. All right, so we're going to have a deeper bench this year, but I'm excited to see who's going to work out and who's not. I assume we're going to be a playoff team. I hope we are. Trae Young, Trey Johnson. So yeah, I forgot we have the Trey backcourt. Jalen Johnson, and then the Johnson forwards. Zion and Okongwu. And then off the bench, we're going to have Leonard Miller, Dink Pate, Adema Bow, Brandon Clark, Kareem Lopez, Caden Boozer. This is a deep team right now. We're still 4-star pace and space. I wish I could send Fisher to the G League, but the glitch this year is really annoying. We start the year on the road. We beat Washington by 3. I'll take it. All right, so with Zion, we are 30-20 at the deadline. We have a 3.8 point differential. I don't know for finals contenders, but hey, we're 10 games above 500. We're going to potentially hit 50 wins for the first time in over a decade. We just got to be better than Charlotte. Oh, man, they have a lot of good guards. They have Jaden Ivey off the bench, and they have that number 1 overall pick, Jackson Clemens. Pacers are good as well. They're going to be tough to beat. I don't know if there's an all-in move. I think we could probably trim out some of this young core. I'm also going to re-sign Okongwu. Let's do a little bit more, but we can then flat rate it. So it's going to be $60 million, or excuse me, $45 million over 3 years. Looking at the team right now, like it would be, I don't know, Dink Pate's been really good, so I don't really think I should trade him. Leonard Miller has been good as well. We've developed him. Adema Bow's been not too bad. Kareem Lopez. Maybe I just stick with what we got, and then hopefully come playoff time when we trim the rotation down a little bit, we can really make a run. We lose to Golden State, but then we blow out the Suns, beat the Lakers, beat the Pistons, but get blown out by the Nets. And Ja Morant wins MVP this year for the Memphis Grizzlies. Jaren Stevenson, your rookie of the year, is currently playing at Alabama. Jamal Murray's behind the MVP, Ja Morant in Memphis. Wemby wins Depoy. Oh my God. And they get another award, AJ DeBanza Most Improved. And Joe Maz made the Portland Trailblazers good again. All-NBA first team outperformed Şengün in Denver. Wait, what? Did Jokic leave in free agency? We're going to have to check that out. Trae Young on All-NBA second team. No Jokic on an All-NBA team. I am intrigued where he is. There's Ryan Dunn on All-Defensive first team. All right, where is Nikola Jokic? Is he not in Denver? Yeah, so he's not in Denver. Wow, all right. I don't know how you let him walk in free agency. Where is Jokic? He signed with, let's see, the Portland Trailblazers. So that's why they're so good. So they have Jokic and Cooper Flagg. Wow. I mean, maybe I'd trade for Donovan Clingan at this point. So we'll keep an eye on that after the playoffs. We finished the year as the 3 seed. We're going up against the 6-seeded Washington Wizards, who have been in the conference finals before. They are a good team. We didn't have a 20-point per game score, but I feel like we're definitely going to have 2 20-point per game scores throughout the playoffs. And I think Kareem Lopez, I don't know, man, he wasn't that bad. So Caden Boozer was better towards the end of the year. I think Caden Boozer is not going to play for the playoffs. Adema Bow will keep an eye on. I think he's going to get like 10 minutes a night. We'll rock the 10-man rotation to start things off. But I want to make sure Zion gets about 38 minutes a night. I want to go 35 to Jalen Johnson, 38 to Trey. We'll do 29 to Trey, the other one in Trey Johnson. And here we go. Game number 1 against the Washington Wizards. We end up beating them 122-116, 34 points for Trey. All right, he's struggled in these playing tournament games we've had over the last couple of years. It's nice to see him have a good start. Game number 2 against the Wizards does go to Washington. They win 135-121. Okay. Game number 3 is going to go to Atlanta. We win 127-126. Trey with 21 and 12. Jalen Johnson, 18, 14, and 8. I'll take that. Game number 4 goes to Atlanta. We take a 3-1 lead. Another great game from Trae Young. He's averaging 25 and 13 already. He's been great for us. Do not blow a 3-1 lead. And we win in 5. Jalen Johnson drops 30 points to send a division rival home. Yeah, Trey was unreal in round number 1. It's nice to see the starting 5 contributing. So we're taking on Brooklyn here in round number 2, who have a very fun team. They do. Luka, Cam Thomas, Igor Demin is fun. Jaren Stevenson just won Rookie of the Year. And then you got the Pacers and the Magic over there. Game number 1 against Luka. Trey versus Luka in round 2 is also cinema. And Trey and Zion combined for 68 points. We take game 1. We take game 2 as well. We win 135-126. Jalen Johnson has a great game here. Man, these guys are getting it done with their efficiency. Game number 3 does go to Brooklyn. All right, so we won both in Atlanta. They won the first one in Brooklyn. Luka Doncic goes off. Mikey Williams goes off. Unless that's Mark Williams. Let me double check that. That is Mikey Williams, yeah. So we win game number 4. We take a 3-1 lead, and we are going to the conference finals. We beat them 138-125. Here we go, taking on the Orlando Magic. So we've already beaten one Southeast Division team in the Washington Wizards. Hopefully we can make it 2. Yeah, Trey and Zion are going off. Game number 1, let's see. Oh man, they've added VJ Edgecombe. They're starting Anthony Black. Suggs is coming off the bench. Luke Cornett's their center. They have Corey Kispert, Hugo Gonzalez. They could have definitely upgraded that center spot. I feel like they chose not to. We dropped 50 in the 4th quarter. Oh my God. And we take home a game 1 victory. Game 2 does go to Orlando, so they split them in Atlanta. They dropped 151 on us. Paolo with 42. Game number 3 is going to go to the Atlanta Hawks. We win 142-139. Trey with 36 and 13. Trey Johnson with 22 and 6. 22, 9 and 11 for Zion. Game number 4 goes to Orlando. They win 124-114. Damn, Trey Johnson, 16, 10, and 7 for 7 from the field. That is great. We do lose game 5 by 16. Here we go. Game 6. Don't lose. All right, we are going to a game 7. We win 133-128. And here we go. Game 7. It's going to be in Atlanta. Can we beat them to go to the NBA Finals? We have a good first quarter. It's a high-scoring game right now. We have a good second quarter, good third quarter. We're up by 19. Do not blow a 19-point lead. We don't. We drop 143 at home. 22 assists for Trey. Oh my God, the Johnson's getting it done. Man, it's nice to have a Johnson. And the Atlanta Hawks are in the NBA Finals going up against the Portland Trail Blazers. It's funny, like, I don't know who I was scared more of, the Thunder or the Blazers. I guess still the Thunder, but this Blazers team is unreal. They have Aiden at the 4. Damn, we are going up against another number 1 overall pick. So, like, we ended up beating Paolo, going up against DeAndre Aiden as this number 1 overall pick. Portland, Atlanta. Did not think these would be the 2 teams in the finals here, but we end up losing game 1 by 3 points. I'm scared of just Jokic in Portland. Maybe I trim this rotation down. Yeah, Adema Bal is not going to be in the rotation anymore. So Kareem Lopez has been efficient, thankfully. He's going to be that 9th man still. I want to go 40 to Trey, 40 to Jalen, and 40 to Zion. And we'll go 30 to Trey Johnson. Please don't lose game 2. And you lose game 2. Damn, we lose 105-140. Trey drops 30 and 10. Not enough, though. Game number 3 goes to Atlanta. All right, we're not dead yet. We lose by 2. Come on. Jalen Johnson needs to be better. Trey Johnson needs to be better. Game number 4 goes to Portland. We lost by 6. Okay. All right. Game 5. Don't lose in 5. And we lose in 5. Damn. All right. Well, they have Nikola Jokic and Cooper Flay. That team is unreal. Jokic wins finals MVP. All right, so we do see Kevin Durant, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Tobias Harris, and Phoenix all retire at the end of this season. Still kind of shocked that Portland dominated us, but at the end of the day, they did have Nikola Jokic. And the Suns, with all their retirements, get the number 1 overall pick, but it wasn't because of their pick. It was from the LA Clippers. And this team may actually get kind of expensive with Zion Williamson being a free agent. I think Dink Pate is a free agent as well. Potentially Trey Johnson. All right, the Pelicans making some moves. The number 2 overall pick was traded for Dyson Daniels and Norman Powell. So they moved Zion Williamson last year. They're fully entering their rebuild. And we did have the 9th overall pick. Sorry about that for not showing you guys that. We are going to take Robert Morrison here out of Iowa State. And that pick was from the Utah Jazz. We also had Dallas's pick at 15. So we actually had a little bit to work with during the draft. So we took Robert Morrison at 9. I like that pick. And we got Kevin Reed there at 15, just adding to the front court depth. Okay, so Pate and Johnson had 1 more years left on their team options, which is great for us. Kareem Lopez, welcome back, Boozer. Adema Bal, we will bring back also just because he could be a trade asset for us. And Zion Williamson is a free agent, so we are going to pay him a lot of money to come back. The last, maybe biggest, like, huge contract of his career. 5 years, $277 million. I hope I can win a title before that ages poorly. So we do see Zion regress a little bit. He's down to a 90. I could make him a small forward, but I'm fine with this right now. Dink Pate is up to an 86. He's going to be a really good 6th man. So I don't think Adema Bal is going to be in the rotation. I actually may go Morrison over Brandon Clark. Those could be some trade assets if we wanted to make a move at some point this season. And we are 4.5 star pace and space under Quinn Schneider. All right, so we're here at the contract extension deadline. Going to ink up Trae Young to a new 4-year max contract. And Wemby wins MVP of this year. Donnie Bledsoe is your Rookie of the Year. He was the #1 overall pick out of Memphis. JT Toppin's your 6th Man of the Year. Wemby is your Depoy. Jackson Clemens, your Most Improved. He was that #1 overall pick a few years ago. Cam Boozer wins Clutch Player of the Year. And Mark Dagnall, once again, Coach of the Year. All-NBA First Team. Jalen Duren making it. Wow, that's pretty cool. How is he just 25 years old? That's also seems kind of wild. We did get Trae Young on All-NBA third team, still making it in Atlanta. And we do finish the year as the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. We're going to be taking on the 8-seeded Raptors in round number 1. They have a very good team. And if it's not really good now, it's going to be very good super soon, just because they got Rocco Sikorsky, you have Grady Dick, you have Scotty Barnes, Darren Peterson, all developing together, which is kind of insane. We finished the year with by far the best point differential in the Eastern Conference. We ended up going 59-23. So it looks like we could be on a collision course with either the OKC Thunder or the Portland Trailblazers, whoever makes it out of the Western Conference. So we're going to see who can maybe, I don't know, just take over for us. Leonard Miller, man, he was like a throw-in a trade, and he has developed into a nice player for us. So for the playoffs, we're definitely going to go down to a 9-man rotation. I just don't know who I want to remove from the rotation, Kareem Lopez or Caden Boozer. I think it's going to be Kareem Lopez. So it's going to look something like this. Leonard Miller can get like 18 minutes a night. Dink Pate is really good. Super efficient as well. He can get 25 minutes, sure. 30 to Okongwu, 36 to Zion, 35 to Jalen Johnson, 38 to Trae Young, and we'll do 33 to Trey Johnson, who is also incredible for us. So round number 1 against the Toronto Raptors, a team we should beat, even though they are pretty talented on paper. We end up winning in 5. We're going to take on Brooklyn in round number 2. The top 2 guys got it done, but also the Johnsons, man, they've been great. Taking on Brooklyn, they got Mikey Williams, Cam Thomas, Igor Demon, CMB, Nick Claxton. They got Luka off the bench. What are we doing? I don't know if he's actually coming off the bench, but that is kind of insane. We do go up 2-0. We go down, or no, we lose game 3 and we lose game 4. So just like that, we're tied 2 games apiece. And Trae Young is averaging 13 points in those 4 games. That is not good. Game 5 goes to the Atlanta Hawks. Thank God. Trey Johnson drops 31. Please win this series in 6. Oh my God, we're going to a game 7. This is brutal, man. I mean, their team is unreal. Trey versus Luka. Trey has done well against Luka since Luka has been a Brooklyn net. Hopefully we can finish this out, man. This is too close of a series. Please. All right, we're up by 8. 3 minutes to go. Up by 4. Oh my God, we are tied. What is going on? And we do not have the ball. Oh no, that is not good whatsoever. We have Trae Young guarding Luka, and they throw it away. Oh my God, what are they doing right there? Trae driving to the rim, and he's gonna finish that inside. Gives us the lead. Oh my God, what was that? Inbound pass. All right, we gotta make some type of defensive switch. Mikey Williams, that is a long 2. He's gonna knock that down. All right. So we're back tied up at 120 apiece. We do have a timeout, and we gotta put Trey Johnson on Luka. I just can't watch Trae Young guard him anymore. The Trae and Zion pick and roll, is it gonna work? Oh man, okay, so we do have Luka guarding Zion, which we should probably capitalize on. Come on, Zion, back him down. Pass it out to Trae. Trae, wide open mid-range jumper is good. Let's go. Trae Johnson makes a huge shot. They do not have any timeouts left. All right, they're going to obviously Luka here. Trae, play good defense here. Where's my help? I don't know. Is it going to be Zion? Oh, God. As Luka with the floater is good. He's unreal. All right, we got 3 seconds left here before we head to overtime. Let's get it to Trae Young. Trae, oh God, 3. Oh man, 2, 1. Trae Young's got to take that 3. Is it good? Oh my goodness, Trae Young with the game winner to give the Atlanta Hawks the victory. Oh my God, to send us to the Eastern Conference Finals. Trae Young gets by Cam Thomas. He pulls up for 3 on his home court as well. Wow, what a shot. That is electric, man. Imagine being a Nets fan in this arena, in State Farm's arena. What a dub. Huge game from Trae Young showing up. He had 5 steals in this one, including a big one late in the 4th. And we're taking on the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. This is a very good team. And it looks like Portland lost to Golden State in Steph Curry's farewell tour season, which is also kind of shocking. They have Bilal and Pods coming off the bench. We do beat Boston in game number 1 by a decent margin. I feel like it's going to be us versus OKC. We take a 2-0 lead, something we did against Brooklyn, but we ended up going to a game 7. We do take game 3. Kristaps had 31. Jasper Johnson had 23. A lot of Johnsons in this series. How did Jason Tatum do? Jason Tatum's been fine in the playoffs. 31 for Zion in this game. Don't blow a 3-0 lead, and we sweep them. So we're taking on the Thunder, who beat the Warriors in 5. And here we go. Let's see if we're able to beat the Thunder, man. Game number 1 goes to OKC. Okay. All right. I just don't feel confident about this series whatsoever. Game number 2 goes to Atlanta. Thank God. We win 138-111. All right, here we go. Game number 3 goes to Atlanta, 135-123. We have won 2 unanswered. Great games from everybody there at the top. And we take a 3-1 lead. We win 3 unanswered. Leonard Miller had a perfect game, a perfect 20-point game right there. Jalen Johnson had 10 assists in this one. Can we win in 5? Yes, we can. So they won game 1. That scared me a ton. But then we rattled off 4 straight wins. Trae Young gets Finals MVP of the season, and we were able to win it all with this core. I didn't have to trade Trae Young. We were able to draft Trae Johnson with that 12th overall pick. Fell to me there. Made a massive trade for Zion. Developed Jalen Johnson and a Kungwu, and it worked out. So that is going to be it for me. Hope you guys did enjoy this Atlanta Hawks rebuild. Let me know in the comments which team you want to see me rebuild next, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.